Alrighty, welcome in everybody. We're about to get started. I am just getting caught up to see where are we starting in terms of players. Hope everyone's doing well. Thanks for all of the hand waving. And we're about to get started. Welcome in Matt, Nedlo, Nathan, Tago, Shock. How's my week? It's been good. It's been good. Fairly standard affair. Nothing too special happening this week. It's been nice. How's your week, Matt? Yes, I'm Austin from Enhance, and we have a lot of score attack to play today. I checked earlier, not too many people were in the thread, but now we have a lot of people in the thread, so... let's try to get through as many matches as possible, stack some blocks, learn a thing or two, and have some fun. So, if I'm not mistaken, does Nedlo need to play first? Is that what I'm seeing? I'm trying to catch up on the narrative here within our matchmaking thread. But, Ferox, if you want to delegate who should be playing first here, that would help me out. But, how's your week, Matt? Anybody playing any new games? How's everyone's gaming experience going as of late? And or Tetris? Standard week. Okay, I think we're going to start with Dairy, Fiend, and Aken. The room code is... Let me reshare the room code in the thread there for you too. Anyway, score attack we do first to ones, but of course if we have a short match we'll do a repeat. If we do first to two score attacks, that could take a while. Spring break coming up, very nice. Yeah, it has started to warm up here. I'm not wearing my beanie today for one. I am very ready for warm weather. Very ready. Nedlo asked to play first. So are we doing Nedlo Ferox? Or Nedlo somebody? Okay, so it is Nedlo Ferox. I have dropped the code in the lobby twice. Nedlo and Ferox, if you're listening. I don't believe that's Nedlo, is it? No. Okay. Well, while they're figuring that out, so score attack. We're going to start off with a higher level match. Typically, we kind of scale our way up. Ferox is a top 4 score attack player, at least when it comes to the Tetris Effect Connected World Championship, aka TECWC. Played against Super Shocky last Friday with a pretty fun set. I think Ferox was memeing a little bit. But, so we'll try to cover some of the strategies that are showcased here. Okay, looks like the lobby has opened up for you too. Let's get this started. Let's play some score attack. And so score attack is one of the 3 1v1 multiplayer modes available. You have your zone battle, which is your kind of your tennis matchup, because when you send attacks, it sends gray blocks to your opponent, so you have this like seesaw. However, in score attack, it's more asynchronous, so you can kind of decide if you want to play more aggressive or safe, depending on if you make any misdrops and how your opponent's doing, or the matchup, how late can your opponent play? Can they get to their higher levels or not? So we'll try to point out some of these skill differences between the players tonight. All right, looks like the players are ready. I'm ready. So good luck, have fun, you two. All right, so we have Ferox on the left and Nedlo on the right. Ferox is favored in this matchup, but I feel like Nedlo has been stepping up the what we like to call the modern Tetris game, as Nedlo is speaking of top 4 players, has been making it to the top 4 of our tournaments when it comes to classic score attack, which emulates the 1989 Nintendo Entertainment System version. All right, so players are deciding on their level. Good old level 20. So when you get high enough on the ladder, I believe 7,500 rating or higher, you can only pick level 15 through 20. In tournament play, however, you're welcome to pick 10, 15, or 20. Or I guess level 10 through 20. Ferox needs to find the controller, and then we will begin here. And Nedlo is rocking the trebuchet, the ballista avatar. Everyone's favorite, right? Everyone loves good seeing a weapon being thrown across your board. And then Ferox, part of the cavalry, excuse me, with the horse. Welcome in, Knighting. Knighting, are you playing tonight? Oh, I like that, using T-spins to set up the center there. A little fancy. So, okay. Now, it is a score attack showcase, so we can't get too far without mentioning what is called ST stacking, or in Ferox's case, and Nedlo's case, ZT stacking, but we call it ST, regardless of which side it's on. Also, Ferox is kind of schmoving. Both players are pretty quick. I think Ferox is a little more practiced. But Nedlo, so far hasn't had a break, right? I think Nedlo a little less experienced when it comes to this, so it's going to be moving a little slower. But that is fine. As long as you're not breaking back-to-back, you should be able to maintain a similar pace to your opponent. I guess one thing Ferox can do is try to force an advantage when it comes to the timer. However, Nedlo does break here, so... Ferox with a misdrop on the long bar, so... This is when things get a little dicey, and this is also, harkening back to what I was saying earlier, you can make adjustments in your play depending on your opponent's situation. How aggressive do you want to stack? How quickly do you want to just try to get back to a clean back-to-back stacking pattern? Generally, I think the wise move is to try to get back into your comfort zone. However, if you are very behind on efficiency and time is running out, or you only have so many more levels to play before you're going to be overwhelmed by the speed of the level changes, you may want to take some risk and try to do some things you otherwise wouldn't be doing, whether it's setting up T-spins in unordinary places. Nedlo playing sky high here. There we go. Sets up the T-spin. Could set up a T-spin single, but no T-pieces coming up there, so just going to have to burn through this. Ideally can get back into a scoring position. Welcome in, Pinball Dad. What's your favorite pinball game? Top 3. Has anyone been to the Pinball Hall of Fame in Las Vegas? It's pretty cool. Pretty cool spot. I like their antique. There's some pretty nice antique ones there. Also, I was kind of going down a rabbit hole. So I went to Day of the Devs last year and tried out one of the pinball games. It was like an indie new pinball game. It was pretty cool. It's on my wish list. I almost pulled the trigger and bought it recently. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Anywho, we have, what is our, okay, so Ferox with a pretty good score lead, 513k. However, Ferox is ahead by 20 lines and clearing singles and not T-spins right now. So if Nedlo can maintain this ST, it can be fairly close. I'm not sure exactly what Nedlo's comfort zone is when it comes to high level play. So I'm mentioning the biggest for high level players, they're going to notice a speed jump at around level 25 plus. So 25 through 28, the levels start to become noticeable in terms of lock delay and I guess mostly just lock delay changes, right? How quickly your piece locks in before you get your next piece. But it also starts to exponentially ramp up at level 29. So our top players, even if you are super strong at high gravity, will top out like level 30 through 32. We do see 33 sometimes. All right, best pinball games to play with friends from Pinball Dad. We got Attack from Mars, Medieval. Oh, I've played Medieval Madness and Metallica. All right, all right. I had somebody that was with me from the classic Tetris community that was in tune with pinball lore and history, and Nedlo does hop out there a little too close to the sun with that long bar placement. Protruding into the block spawn area. So now we can just see Ferox show off. Let's see if we can see some of these higher levels be played out. Even 28's pretty tough, especially if you're just trying to maintain T-spins this late. If you're clearing singles like Ferox is, you can kind of play a little more instinctual and still clear lines. All right, level 30. Part of the trick is you always want to be skating your piece around so it doesn't lock in. If it's if your piece isn't moving at this point, it's going to lock in near instantly. So we got level 31. There we go, level 31, 206 lines, almost at 32. So my prediction of 30 to 32 was correct there. And thank you for playing, Nedlo. I think Nedlo had to go start earlier in the showcase because of their schedule, so happy to have you. And if anyone wants to challenge Ferox, Ferox is our king of the night so far. GG's. All right. Now, I believe we're going to do... Who is up next? Fairbot says TiVo and Jabberbox. Don't we have Aken and Dairy Fiend? I'll let Ferox figure that out. Or Light Rod. I see Light Rod's in here. Welcome in, Light Rod. These players are so good. Yes, yes. But do not be intimidated. We want players of all skill levels to hang out with us on these Friday showcases. That's part of the idea, right? Because we have plenty of limelight for players like Ferox. The top players of each game mode. We do our job to highlight these players and grab the popcorn and enjoy it, right? But it's also a good time if you want to have your game commentated and just chill out. Yeah, be sure to head to our Discord at discord.gg/enhance. Let me do the little plug in YouTube and Twitch here. Select that community events role and you'll be notified every time we do one of these. And yeah, we have a matchmaking thread, so we'll try to pair you with somebody of a similar skill level. As long as the matches are close, we have a lot of fun. So, or not necessarily close, but of course it's going to be more fun to watch. Here, let me start over. The games will be fun. Tetris is fun, but it'll be fun to spectate, of course, when matches are closer. So we try our best to match people with players of similar skill levels. Thank you to Fairbot, our matchmaking thread bot. Okay, I see Jabberbox is in here. Who are we? Which match is up? Ferox and Light Rod. SE Ferox Pro as ever. Yeah. SG. Jabberbox versus TiVo. Okay. Jabberbox is in here. TiVo. TiVo, I know you were hyped earlier. It's time to live up to that hype. Make your way to the lobby, please. I don't see TiVo online on Discord. Go TiVo, says Dairy Fiend. I guess score attack, because it does involve high gravity play, I feel like, well, this is a bit of a segue. I know Tetris the Grandmaster 4 is supposed to come out later this month, if I'm not mistaken. I'm really curious to see what that is for those other fans of the older arcade series, which have been ported to Switch and PlayStation. Or at least 1 and 2 have. But we had a showcase for Tetris Block Party for TGM. That was fun. Hopefully, you can do more of that in the future. TGM 1 on PS5. I always say this, and it's still true. Most of my playtime on that has been there's a giant mode. You can use a cheat code at the beginning to have your pieces be giant. I was addicted to it. Probably like 90% of my playtime. It's trying to get the giant piece GM, which is pretty hard. All right, looks like both players are in here. Jabberbox and TiVo, when you're ready. Good luck, have fun. I'm ready. Oh, welcome in, Mr. FAQ. How are you doing? Mr. FAQ, you play, I assume you play TGM. I feel like you play every Tetris game. Anyways, we are playing TEC Score Attack. Let's get back to our game here and check it out. So we have TiVo versus Jabberbox. Classic matchup. Welcome in, Dr. Jules. Oh, I got it. I'm on it. I would never mess up switching to the game screen. I've never done that in my life. Dr. Jules. In my defense, sometimes players don't wait till I say I'm ready when it comes to tournament play. Usually we have a little spiel, our commentators want to talk about the matchup kind of thing. Sometimes players just hop in and they go. Okay, so Jabberbox on the left, rocking the customized colors. Love to see it. So the colors will change every 10 lines following. So in the case of speed level 3 start, following 40 lines, we should see level 4 kick in with some new colors. And TiVo rocking the traditional Tetris piece colors. Tetris Tetramino colors. Off camera, Austin's nose grows. So both players just doing a good job with these back-to-back Tetrises. So similar play style, similar line count. So it's pretty much neck and neck here. Jabberbox is the first to kind of break here with his line bar. I play all the Tetris games, so players like to call it the eyepiece, long bar. I think eyepiece and long bar are probably the most popular, right? So I love to mix them up and make my own monstrosity of a name for the long piece, long bar. Yeah, pretty close game. And because we did have a earlier level start, as you can see, it is less score for Tetris, which means if players can make it into the later levels, it will multiply or amplify their scoring when it comes to Tetrising and or T-spins. Another thing to mention is the back-to-back bonus really adds up. So as long as you can keep getting Tetrises, you're going to get extra bonus points. If you get a Tetris, get a single line clear, and back to a Tetris, you're going to miss out on that back-to-back bonus. My team Skim or Burn? I think I say Burn more often. Yeah, I think I say Burn. What do you guys prefer? Is there any other alternates? Skim, Burn? Is there anything else people say? I'm trying to think if I even say something else without thinking about it. Classic Tetris would never disown me. It's a really close game. They're within 1,000 points of each other. That is as close as it gets. To the point where these hard drop points might even make a difference. So technically, the faster you place a piece, especially on lower levels, you are going to get bonus points. You don't really notice that on level 15 plus, just because of how quickly the pieces are locking down. It's like negligible, especially level 20. Unless you're super shocking and somehow manage to get like the 2 extra points. So Jabberbox looking to eventually take some burns here on the right. There we go. Doesn't quite transfer it into a Tetris well, but is a little bit ahead on points. However, they are ahead on lines, so it's still very, very close. Players may be feeling the speed at this point, as we are seeing less Tetris setups and more just focus on survivability, which is very important. You can make up for the lack of Tetrising if you can get to these later levels. So this is a good time to kind of gauge the difference in playstyle here. And so far, honestly, this is a very similar playstyle from both players, and both players seem to want to continue to skim lines on once they hit these higher levels. So it should be close. Welcome in, McCry. Trim the lines? No, I don't think so. We can make our own, though. Erase the lines. Ferox's Fairbot have intelligent AI use when it comes to Tetris glossary use. Maybe for the next update. Okay. So Fairbot really is just a it's a manager. They don't even know what they're managing. I think you need to give Fairbot some sentient life. Simply a drone. Ooh, Jabberbox was... I thought Jabberbox might have been setting up for a T-spin there. So this is really close. I think TiVo is going to want to try to get a Tetris to get caught up here. TiVo is behind on lines, so that score discrepancy isn't too big. And yes, Jabberbox with the lead can maybe just try to focus on surviving. It does seem like surviving is going to be crucial as... Ooh, TiVo with a huge Tetris there. It does seem so far that TiVo might be more comfy when it comes to these later levels. So survival is going to be important for Jabberbox. Oh, by the way, I did want to mention, for those that tuned in to last week's stream, we, for the first time, did like collaborative, cooperative streaming, I guess, with Wumbo Ties, just kind of testing that out. If anyone ever does, if any of you are streamers or anything like that, that want to just stream, you can just play anything on T. If you're planning to stream around this time and want to play some score attack matches, yeah, we would definitely be down to do a collaborative stream and share our viewership and chat, stuff like that in the future. Just for those that do stream regularly, just hit me up and I can set that up. Or we can figure something out. Because I know some of you are probably lurking in here. We do have some regulars that like to stream. Okay. Okay. So Jabberbox hanging on to that lead. I'm kind of curious. Jabberbox hit this like 30 to 40k lead and has not escaped. TiVo has tried to get a few... TiVo has gotten a few Tetrises, but Jabberbox has been able to kind of keep within a similar rate as TiVo, so it's been neck and neck. I'm really curious how these latest levels, or the later levels, are going to play out here. We approach the late game. Oh, speaking of Tetris, how about that Tetris Forever update in physical copies? And do I still play it? I don't go out of my way to play Tetris, but if I am called to action, I am ready. I should probably... I haven't booted up Tetris Forever in a while, actually. I saw there was some new updates. I wanted to try Weltris. I've never played Weltris. Have you played it recently, Jules? But the physical edition seems pretty cool, in my opinion, Light Rod. I like the concept. You refuse to buy it. How much is it? I need to look again. $35 or $40. That's not too bad. I thought it would have been more, actually, given it was like a little arcade machine with it. Okay, so Jabberbox tops out at level 25. Now we can see if TiVo's survivability will come in clutch here, despite Jabberbox having pretty good efficiency. 25, like I said earlier, you really start to feel it, especially if you aren't quite as used to the master levels as, say, Ferox was in our opening match. So we'll see if TiVo's able to capitalize on that. If TiVo can survive for a few levels here, he should be able to get caught up. And yeah, look, that 25, you really feel it. Like, 25 is a big jump for most people. So this is really close. Oh, can it be clutched? Can it be clutched? Oh, missing that spin. Oh, man, I was so close. Ah, man. Look at that. They had the same average. It's only that that was like as close as it gets. It's only that Jabberbox cleared 3 more lines. So that was like neck and neck the whole way. That was great. Great match. All right, so TiVo and Jabberbox, every score attack community showcase, I want you two to play against each other. I want it to be that close again. Maybe TiVo will take the dub next time. GG's. That was fun. All right, who do we have next? I believe it will be... Okay, Falkite and Shock. Let's do it. Welcome in, Nokino. Yeah, that was sick. That was sick. That's what you want, right, TiVo? If you have those like in very intense matches, as close as it gets, I feel like if you're gonna lose a game, that's what you want, right? You're both playing your best, stuff like that. Hopefully, you guys felt that way. We'll see. Yeah, 25 is that's a big jump. Even like 20 to 25 isn't too bad. Pros in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like it shouldn't add too much to the lock delay and stuff like that. 25 is probably the first big jump. A mullet? I don't think I have a... I guess it's getting there. If I cut my hair, I'm sure if I got it shorter on the sides and up top, especially the sides, I can definitely get a mullet at this point. Should I go for the mullet? I've never had one. I think it's in my blood. I'm meant to be a NASCAR driver. I should just lean into it. Okay. For you is 27. Now it's 28, 29. Yeah, I guess the more experienced you are, the ceiling, or when you really feel it, it's going to change. I know for players like Wumbo, they mentioned like 27 being a tough one. Neck and neck. Yeah, I think you're both in here when you two are ready. Shock and Falkite. I'm ready. The heartbeat of score attack. It's kind of the vibe I get from the score attack music. I've always thought of it as like a heartbeat. All right, looking like level 10 is the go here. I like a good level 10 start. Kind of allows you to freestyle a bit without it being totally be... You don't have to strategize around the high gravity levels, right? You can kind of still stack at your own will, but feel the pressure of like, you can't play too slow. And yeah, it looks like on deck we're going to have Got Yo Sauce and Cool Matt. Be ready to play. Cool Matt, our resident YouTuber. Is Twiz around today? Twiz is also our YouTube chatter, usually. All right, so Shock setting up some Tetrises. And yeah, we've seen a classic matchup on our community showcases, Shock versus Coffee and Tetris, or Morg. And I feel like they both tend to play, just really go for the back-to-back Tetrises, keep their cool, keep consistent, less misdrops. And that can take you a long way in score attack before you get to the high-level T-spin factory players. Shock almost had the 3 Tetrises in a row, back to back. There used to be an achievement on an Xbox Tetris game. Can't remember which one it was. Where you, it's kind of a hard achievement when you think about it, because you have to get lucky. But you have to get 3 Tetris line clears in a row. Like I think simultaneously. It might have been Tetris Splash. It was that or Tetris Evolution. I think Tetris Evolution was definitely a forgotten game. Splash had like a little community. Yeah, Splash was an Xbox arcade, like one of the downloadable ones on their storefront. But Evolution was a store-bought game. It's kind of like a bargain bin game. I feel like that's part of the reason I got it. You still have Tetris Blitz on mobile. I never got too into the mobile games. I played the... I used to have it on my flip phone. I think it was probably EA, if I were to guess. Like way back when. Anywho, we have Shock with 211k, Falkite with 300k, and Falkite is ahead on line, so this is pretty close, very close. I think that line discrepancy... Yeah, both players just kind of Tetrising for the most part, so similar play styles. Ooh, there we go. Shock setting up an kind of an interesting T-spin setup there. You can expand on this with what's called a Trinity, if you want to Google Tetris Trinity. Unfortunately, well, first off, that was probably a bit risky to do, and might not be in Shock's arsenal. But there we go. Fills in that long bar dependency on the left so that they can continue to stack kind of using the left side, almost like how you would play classic Tetris, just as a... yeah, look at this slant. You can pretty much stack a piece anywhere and take very easy burns or skims, depending on your preferred verbiage. So yeah, very nice stacking from Shock. Meanwhile, Falkite getting some back-to-back Tetrises. That back-to-back is going to be crucial in this matchup with how close things are going. And this is still very close because of Falkite with a speed advantage. Falkite, so when you do top out in score attack, you do force a 2-minute timer. I don't think that will affect this matchup too much, given the current state. Shock isn't playing like slow enough for that 2-minute timer to really put pressure on. However, it is easier to utilize that 2-minute timer when it is lower level starts. So if you start at level 20, there's going to be less lines to clear to get to, say, to close out the game and get to like level 30. However, if you start at level 10, there's a longer runway. So if you want to play like a speedy score attack and try to put pressure through that 2-minute timer, starting at like level 10 makes it more viable because you have a longer runway with more lines to clear. Also, I know we have some new faces in here tonight. If anyone has any questions on what exactly you're watching, any specific things in score attack you don't understand, or just Tetris in general, we have a lot of qualified players in the chat that are happy to help. So we are getting into those later levels. Got that music and sound effect change once you hit level 21. And background change. So after level 15 is the only difference time before lock-in. I think level 20 is supposed to be the true, it's like it falls instantly. 15 isn't quite instant. Like even here, like if you look at Shock's board, there still is some time before the piece instantly locks in. You can see it like dropping super fast, right? The frame rate is still very fast, but it's not 100% pure gravity. So technically, for example, you can still get R drop points at this point. Yeah, that lock delay, there's going to be some very noticeable jumps, especially 25 plus, 25, 27, 28, 29, all have huge jumps. I feel like the lock-in delay has negligible change. You kind of have a window of 20G from like 20 to 24. How much does it change around then? I actually don't know. I feel like it's negligible though, as we saw with like players like TiVo and Jabberbox. They didn't really have much issue going from 20 to 24, but we're really feeling it at level 25. (20 to 23 decreases the line clear delay. Okay, so I'm right on that. Okay, well, that's a good piece of information. I don't think I've really put that into words. So the line clear delay means when you clear a line, in zone battle is really noticeable when you clean a line or clear a line. You're gonna have a moment where it makes like a whoosh noise, and you have a second to think before you place your next piece, right? So as the game progresses, that line clear delay is also gotten rid of, allowing you to play faster and have to think faster too. Also, how's my zone battle line clear noise? I think that was pretty accurate. All right, so Shock with that back-to-back, 88k to go. This is not free by any means. But these back-to-back Tetrises are really putting a dent into that lead. Shock seems quite comfortable so far. There's a misdrop, so it's going to be harder to get a Tetris. I feel like Tetrises are necessary. Then we're going to have to see if Shock can play into level 25 for a little bit here. Ooh, T-spin noise is harder. Uh-oh. Yeah, that you do feel that level 25 for sure. And there we go. We have another very close match. Look at that. Shock actually had a higher line average by, let's do a quick math here. What was it, 13 points? Or 23 points? But unable to clear an additional 7 lines there, so GG. GG. Shout out to Fairbot with this awesome matchmaking. Okay, so up next we're gonna do Got Yo Sauce and Cool Matt. Make your way to the lobby. Also, I think our lobby is getting fairly full. I know it's fun to sit around in it, but if you are just watching, if we want to free up some spectator space and make sure we don't lag out. I need to try playing more aggressive. My game was a bit laggy, so I was trying to play it safe, but it didn't pay off in the end. Leave the lobby or else I have to play Ferox and Score Attack. Cue everybody joining the lobby because they would love to play you in Score Attack. Alright, Cool Matt and Got Yo Sauce. 2 regulars. Got Yo Sauce always asking when the next showcase is. See if you two can live up to the previous games. See if we can get to like a 1-point discrepancy. Let's get as close as possible here. All right, looks like you two are ready. I'm ready when you are. Good luck, have fun. GLHF. Ready, awesome. Thank you, Matt. Oh yeah, I am ready. Shock would be Ferox and Score Attack. I think that's accurate. Knowing the answer is always play more and build flat. Yeah, play more is the common answer. What should I prioritize when thinking at higher levels? For example, should I think about whether I'm on or off parity or playing ahead in the queue of pieces to build boxes, etc.? If I'm on or off parity... Yeah, that is the beauty of this game, is as simple as it is, there's always something you can be improving at. I think you kind of hit it on the head there a little bit, Pinball Dad. My first reaction is improve at what you find fun in the game anyways, right? For example, I enjoyed playing Zone Battle quickly, so I wanted to lean into that and try to up my speed. Although I'm going to take a hit on my efficiency because I don't practice my stacking patterns as much. And then if you get to a point where you hit a ceiling on whatever you're trying to practice, you could always move towards something else, like you mentioned, the parity. Parity is pretty important for Score Attack stacking methods, especially something like what we were calling ST stacking, because you need good T parity to make it easier for yourself, right? But that's a little bit more high level. I think earlier on, just focusing on keeping your board clean, flat, like you mentioned, hitting the back-to-back bonuses, and then expanding from there in whatever direction you want to go in is the way to go. But yeah, happy to elaborate on any little thing. Yeah, you're not gonna... I mean, there is parity when it comes to stacking Tetrises, but definitely a bigger topic for ST stacking or any like more advanced stacking method. ST is harder than it looks because of things like parity. But usually T pieces are the culprit when it comes to how even your stack is and how you play around them. And or just creating long bar dependencies. Thanks, Hive. Yeah, this is a very good chat to ask any of those kind of questions for sure. And feel free to, if you want any guides or anything for any of the stacking methods you see, feel free to ask. We do have a command for ST stacking, for example, or a guide. And then yeah, if you are newer to the game, even being able to play into the higher levels, right? As we see, if you can play on that level 25, that could be a difference maker. So if you do stuff like master mode, or it is a different finesse to try and survive, because you don't have to hard drop or soft drop really. You need to just constantly be skating your pieces around, moving left to right. And that in itself is a skill too. That's a fun skill, and that might be one I take for granted because I've played a lot of high gravity over the years. I think being able to play high gravity feels quite nice when you get used to it. Yeah, if you ever just want to chill out, play some master mode, eventually, that's when the play more comes in. I think play more is good advice for. Of course, you can be conscious about make the most out of your play more, but when it comes to high gravity, just spamming some master mode games, getting that muscle memory down, it's going to be good. I'm still weird about like S and Z rotations in high gravity, personally. It messes me up in master mode. So how's our game going here? Matt with a pretty good lead. But again, you always want to, if you see a lead, you have to look at the line count. It's just Matt is playing faster. So even if they are the same when it comes to line efficiency at the moment, Matt is playing in the future. So that 160k lead isn't too massive, especially as both players here seem capable of creating Tetrises and such. So it does look like Got You Sauce might want to bring this board down a little bit as we approach the higher gravity. So 50 line, or I guess about 40 lines in the future is pretty significant. So I think these players are close to neck and neck. Oh yeah, it can be tough. One thing that's tough to get used to is on high gravity, stacking center wells is very tricky, because your piece is going to fall instantly within that well that you're setting up, right? So we saw Got You Sauce set up some T-spins in the center, but unfortunately, because of that high gravity, kind of breaking the setups there that your brain is so used to setting up, just because of the gravity is going to mess it up there. However, this T-spin looks possible. Hopefully, there we go. Nice T-spin double up high there for Got You Sauce. I think Got You Sauce fell a little bit on efficiency here. So maybe playing risky. I kind of appreciate it. However, it's going to be nice if Got You Sauce can get to a true left or right well to close out and get some good points for these later levels. Meanwhile, Matt is here, kind of just singling. All right, we hit that level 25, so we're going to be starting to feel the gravity from this point further, or this point forward. Yeah, if Got You Sauce can find some efficiency here, it's definitely not over. Setting up for this Tetris is going to be crucial, and getting to a side well at the same time. Okay, there we go. So Got You Sauce is clean, but Got You Sauce is going to need to find some Tetrises to get caught up here. And or T-spins. And hopefully be able to play it into this later levels. Nice job from Matt, doing well on 27 here. Those extra points are going to add up. Almost making it to level 28. Looks like Got You Sauce is kind of similar to Matt, maybe struggling to find Tetrises on this higher gravity. There is a lot of pressure that you might not be used to. Especially when some guy is yapping about it live. Oh, there we go. Oh. Okay, just favoring a clean stack. Gets a Tetris there, much needed. But we are going into level 25. This is going to be really felt as the lock delay starts to increase from this point further. Or decrease, rather. The pieces are going to lock in sooner. Ooh, that vertical long bar setup. It's tough. And that will be it. Got You Sauce getting a level 26. Good game. Similar efficiency. Yeah, I think at some point both players were having trouble finding Tetrises. So maybe that early game coming in clutch from Matt. But yeah, nicely played. Nicely played. All right, so up next. Oh, we got a custom rule set. That's the Grass Pelt Classic here. And yes, if anyone ever wants to have some fun with the rules for the score attack match or any match on these community showcases, just let me know if your opponent agrees. So let's check out this rule set together here. All right, so Tetramino Randomizer Limited. And limited means Tetramino is dealt more arbitrarily, but with corrections to prevent extreme frequencies. So kind of like in between pure random and 7-bag. 7-bag kind of guarantees pieces within, I guess, 13 pieces. So... scoring template, custom here. So we're going to do, okay, triples are worth 300%, doubles 200%. Triples 300% is kind of weird. Singles 150. So burning and skimming is more valuable. Combos 200%. I think that still means combos are bad. Perfect clear is 500%. Okay. Now we're cooking. Tetris. Oh, Tetris 0. No T-spins. This is crazy. No back-to-back. So this is what you call burn world. We're gonna call it burn world. Skim City. Skim City is better. I like Skim City. That's a nice ring to it. I think that's it though. Okay, I think we should be good on the settings. Double check. Yep. We need 2 already. I'm ready. Yeah, Burn World doesn't sound great. I like Skim City. That is slick, rolls off the tongue. Okay, let's do this. Welcome to Skim City. Tago versus Grass Pelt. Although all clears are the most valuable here, so if a player can manage to get a bunch of all clears in high gravity, it would be what kids call Jover. Tago just kind of schmoving along. That is one thing you could do, I guess, if you could just like play fast and get a bunch of singles and doubles. I guess you'd want triples, right? Triples are the most valuable. Setting up for triples easier said than done, I guess. You could just stack for Tetrises and stop when it comes to 3. One thing you could do too is just set up gaps. You can set up like overhangs to create. I'm already theory crafting here for the triple stacking. But if you like leave little holes in your wells, not in your wells, in your stack, so that when you do clear a quote-unquote Tetris well, it'll just be a triple. However, you would accrue lines, but you can just... Ooh, we found the all clear. Big all clear for Tago. Nice triple for Grass Pelt. This feels really cursed, by the way. This might be one of the more cursed setups we've had for ruling or rule set. Yes, that's like 1,000 in skee ball, 100%. That all clear really just put skyrocketed Tago into the lead. Because even like 300% triples, it's not going to be nearly as efficient as the all clear. Because all clear already gives you a lot of points. However, Grass Pelt's at the bottom. I think fishing for the all clear is a good idea. Yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't, because you're going to be getting skims naturally, right? So... So if you are fishing for all clears, you definitely want to keep in mind where... How do I explain this? There's going to be a point where every 3 rows you can technically complete an all clear. You have to keep a good eye on your residue. So, for example, if you get to the bottom of your board and there's 2 blocks remaining, you're not at the row that you would have to be at to complete an all clear. I feel like there's got to be a better way to explain it. I haven't really put it into words too often. This is much easier to watch than actually be behind the Sixer keyboard. My brain is... Yeah, that is one thing. There's a difference in driving and in this situation. Okay, so Tazago's lined up right now for a perfect clear, as we see. So that long bar would have created a clear, so Tago can play around that now to know when the all clear is going to happen. But yeah, it's easier to strategize when you don't have to actually have the hand-eye coordination active. And I do this a lot when I'm watching, like, I have a good understanding of zone battle, and when I'm watching top players, I'm like, oh yeah, nice stacking. But when you're actually trying to play quickly simultaneously, you kind of have to use brain power to play quickly too, right? So it can be tough to multitask when it comes to strategizing and just simply staying alive especially when it comes to like classic Tetris, right? I guess all Tetris games, but if you make a misdrop in classic Tetris, it's kind of over sometimes. Because I'll be watching classic, I'm like, why did he do that? And then I go and play classic, I'm like, oh yeah. Ooh, nice all clear find from Grass Pelt. However, Tago has quite a lead, able to find more perfect clears. Or all clears, excuse me. Perfect or all clear, there's another discrepancy among the community. I feel like I say perfect clear more often, but it's called all clear on Tetris Effect. All right, Grass Pelt. Grass Pelt gets a few. There we go. So Grass Pelt's lined up here. Can stack for PCs every 4 lines from that point. Every 4 rows, excuse me. There we go. So you see that. Gonna have to get lucky here. and because now we have the lock delay kicking in, it might be over for Grass Pelt. But shout out to Grass Pelt for always bringing these crazy rule sets. GG. Pretty good score there. Okay, cool. So that was Skim City. Thank you for taking us to Skim City. Grass Pelt as the train conductor, taking us from whatever city we were at. Normal Tetris world to Skim City. Oh, we are not starting soon. All right, so up next. Who's up next? Where's Fairabot? RCS Saxman, and Aken, you're up. Oh, we're doing a custom setting again. Okay. All right, so what do we got? Reset. We're going to be doing what's called 9-0 gang. So this game's called Tetris, not T-spin, right? That's the common saying. So we're going to lean into that. Let's see here. T-spins are 0%. Every anti-T-spin player just got a smile on their face. By the way, T-spins bring a lot of complexity to the game. You should be happy that they exist. You should be happy that T-spins exist. Okay, so back-to-back 0. And PC 0. So this is what we call Tetris, baby. The highest scoring line clear. All right, let's do this. Yeah, it's pretty much classic score attack. You're right. It's just like it's like Super Nintendo Tetris here. Or I guess what would be the closest official version to this? I don't think it'd be Super Nintendo. It would be like Tetris Worlds. Does Tetris Worlds have a T-spin bonus? Or the next Tetris? Be around that era, like late N64, early Xbox GameCube generation. All right, so RCS playing a little high up here. This might be a slight mismatch. I think Aken might have put a rating lower than their actual skill level. Anywho, we're just chilling here. So, looking like Saxman is going to top out. I opt that we do a lower level start so that we can get a longer game in here for our challenger. He can no hold. Yeah, RCS, you can pick the level. RC Saxman. Just retry. Oh, okay. Aken is backing out. I don't know. Are you two playing again, or okay? Yeah, okay. Aken is playing again. Saxman, you should hop in for one more because that was pretty quick. We'll do a lower level start. What level are you comfy with? We could do like 5 or 10 or something. 7 sounds good. No all spin settings, no. That would be interesting though. Playing some good old Tetris. No T-spins, no all clears. Yeah, it looks like Saxman is just kind of keeping it simple here. See if they can navigate into a side wheel. Looks like they're trying to keep the center wheel, which works too. Finding that tuck. Aken showing off, just moving along here with that 6-3 stack. Yeah, Saxman going for a 6-3. Hits that Tetris. (6-3) and no TSD and score attack sounds cursed. A little bit, yeah. I mean, I guess that is like, that's still the meta for a sprint, right? Despite not going for T-spins in sprint. Because when you do a 6-3 stacking, which means you have 6 columns to the left of your well, 3 to the right, or vice versa, you can, if you want to be left-sided, you can do that. 3 to the left, 6 to the right. It requires minimal on-the-fly thinking, and there's a finesse to it that makes it easier to play quickly. It's a good stacking pattern to get started on when it comes to sprint. I actually didn't learn 6-3 until way late in the game. For someone that's been around the community for so long. And if you have some experience with Tetris, you should be able to pick it up pretty quick. The more you practice it, and when you watch other players, you kind of realize what they're doing to make it so easy. So you create these like 3x4 3 wide, 4 high, I guess rectangles or builds on the right here. So if we're watching Aken, we can see, there we go. So like there's an LJ square set up. There were 2 L's, or I'm sorry, 2 J's in a square setup. So there's a lot of builds you can use to create those 3x4s to build out the right side. And generally you put all your T pieces, your S's and Z's to the left side. If you need to even it out, you could always do, you know, an L. You can make like a sandwich with an L or J piece and an S and Z piece. If you put a T piece to the right, you're going to want to put another T piece to the right to maintain proper what's called parity. Otherwise, it's going to kind of get out of hand or feel a little jagged in your stacking. All right, so Aken moving to that 0-9 well. Saxman with a Tetris. Saxman doing a good job now, keeping it clean. Aken's moving faster, but well, a lot faster. But if Saxman can actually get a good Tetris rate going, could get caught up in the long run. There we go, back-to-back Tetrises from Saxman. Turtle in the hair situation. Turtle wins. Spoiler alert, sorry if anyone is not up to date on that story. Now this I like. I actually really like what's called 8-2 stacking. So when your columns and your open well is in column 8. With this you can set up, you can stack your squares and then try to use your L's and J's to properly create, I guess, 2x4s. So if you stack an L on the right side, you want another L to fill out the shape, maintain keeping it even. You can do 2 long bars as well, if it makes sense. For a while I was doing 8-1. I'm sorry, I said 8-2. I'm at 7-2. Now, 8-1 is really cursed. However, you're going to find 8-1 situations, especially in multiplayer, because of how the well is going to move around. Sometimes you want to build around that well in column, I guess, 2 or 9. And you can set up some T-spins and stuff. You're just going to run low on long bars, filling out the right side. So eventually you do have to find some kind of skim. But there's some creative 8-1 stacking. Yeah, ARS, that's a different story. 8-1 with ARS, that sounds rough. Alright, so Aken is about to top out here. Saxman, running into some high gravity, is on the ropes. We'll see how many lines Saxman can get up here. Is going to top out level 12. GG's. Thanks for participating, Saxman. I believe this is your first showcase. I think Aken was probably accidentally put in the wrong SR because I think someone said they thought it was classic score tech earlier. But yeah, hopefully we'll see you return in the future here. Now, up next, we have Coffee and Tetris, aka Morg, and Night Shadow. Make your way to the lobby. Oh, let me reset the settings for you. We'll go back to some regular score attack. And I'm ready when you two are. Got a lot of matches in so far today. I think we only have 2 more matches. So we'll have Dairy Fiend versus Nathan and Pinball Dad versus Nokino. Cool. Do we ever find a match for Scaly Dan? I think Scaly Dan was looking to play, right? If you're still around, Scaly Dan. Okay. Yeah, we can try to match everybody up here. All right, so Morg on the left, Night Shadow on the right. This should be a good matchup. Morg, I know, has good matches with Shock. Does a good job of maintaining back-to-back on the 9-0 welling. So back-to-back Tetrises, typically. And we'll see what Night Shadow brings to the table here. So far going for Tetrises as well. Okay, yeah, we'll try to match up whoever's hit join so far. Maybe we can close it at this point. But yeah, we'll try to match up whoever's left. Could probably do Ocean versus Scaly Dan, because we just set Scaly Dan to 8,500. Which isn't their actual SR, just based on scores. And we can do Mr. FAQ versus, if there's any other high-level players around that want to play, Ferox, you could always hop back in, or somebody else around that skill level. Don't be shy. All right, so close game here. Morg with a very slight lead. And living up to what I was saying earlier, just really consistent back-to-back Tetris stacking here. Night Shadow has to fill out this, yeah. Has to use some long bars. I like that. Just creating that skim there to get back into a scoring position. Nathan loved it with that heart emoji. All right, Tetris, two Tetrises for Morg, garnering a bit of a lead here. Since Night Shadow had to take some skims. There's a skim for Morg, so still early. Both players moving reasonably quick though, so we'll start to get into that high gravity sooner than later. All right, thank you, Lyra. Looks like we might be doing Grass Pelt versus Mr. FAQ, and then we should have all our matches set. And then, yeah, Ferox and Light Rod probably close the queue from this point. Or no more joins. If you missed the join, then be sure to show up nice and early next week. Join our Discord at discord.gg/enhance. Have that community event rule, and you'll be notified when the matchmaking thread is up. So we have gone into level 11. Music, got the music change. Pretty much even online, so Morg maintaining that same lead. Hasn't really left this 9-0 well, so doing a really nice job with this back-to-back Tetrising. We'll see if Morg can handle the higher gravity of like post 20 in the same way Night Shadow might be able to. We'll see if there's any discrepancy in skill there. That could be a good opportunity for Night Shadow to get caught up. Four matches, okay. Okay, that should be fine. Going a little later, but yeah, everybody that's in here will be good. Just be ready to play if you are still in queue here. I believe up next we're going to be doing Derry versus Nathan. I saw Nathan is spectating. Okay, so Morg's still getting a little bit of a lead here, handling these higher levels just fine. Starting to take some skims that are not Tetrises. So as I say that, maybe starting to run into a wall here. They are on the same level, same line count, so that is a true lead for Morg. Alright, Tetris for Night Shadow, but does have a double well. Let's see if, how Night Shadow... Okay, I like that. Any back-to-back Tetrises from Night Shadow at this point are going to be crucial to getting caught up, especially before we get into that 20G, where it's going to be a little harder to stack. Every Tetris counts now for both players still. Alright, Tetris for Morg, hopping into level 20. Morg actually ahead on lines now, after being behind on lines earlier. So this is really close. And Night Shadow's doing a good job maintaining Tetrises on the higher gravity here. And Tetrises are worth more as we ascend in levels. So it's going to come down to how players handle 25 plus, I feel like. If Night Shadow can get a little bit of an edge going into that phase, and within that phase, this could be their win. But Morg maintaining that lead, playing one row up, I like it, just to maintain getting Tetrises rather than taking too many skims. Here we go, actually plays 2 rows up and maintaining that Tetris bonus, which is a good move. Despite messing your stack up a little bit, still making sure you get those extra bonuses and get everything you can out of your line clears is smart. All right, had to take a few skims. So Night Shadow's doing a good job of keeping this left well ready for business for Tetrises. There we go. Got a Tetris from Night Shadow. Night Shadow is going to have to take a Skim here. There we go. All right, it's going to get a little tricky from this point forward. I like Night Shadow's aggression. Unfortunately, gets the J piece a little too far to the right there to set up for a Tetris. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Almost Tetris ready. Night Shadow's just, I think, focusing on surviving. It can be hard to fish for Tetrises when you're more concerned on just getting your piece to the right place if you're not as adept when it comes to high gravity play. So it's going to be tough to take this lead from Morg, despite them having a similar scoring efficiency from 20 to 25 here. Neither player really moving the needle when it comes to score leads. So Night Shadow unable to take advantage of these higher levels, as the players are pretty evenly skilled. So we'll see though. Like if Night Shadow can survive longer post 25. It is possible. It's gonna be tough to make a dent in this lead, though. Especially with those missed drops, gonna have to play really high up, and there we go, GG. So Morg, kind of inching a little bit on the efficiency when it came to the earlier game. I guess, like, I want to say before level 15, but they were pretty even at that point forward. So, yeah. Every phase counted for both players in that matchup. It was pretty close. GG. Next up is Derry and Nathan. Make your way to the lobby. Nathan's already in here. Lobby is open. GG. Yeah, happy to have you week by week. Coffee and Tetris. Just vanilla rules, okay. Okie dokie. And a lot of score tech. Time is flying tonight. Already 7:30. Oh. Eastern time in the US. Time flies during Community Showcase. Getting a lot of matches in. I'm happy that everyone is around for the match, though. I feel like we've had a really smooth showcase tonight in setting up our matches. So thank you, Lightrod and Fairbot. Ferox, I guess. Okay. Who do you guys like more, Ferox or Fairbot? So Nathan on the left and Derry Fiend on the right. Good luck, have fun. Show us what you got. Oh, Derry Fiend rocking the colorblind skin. And one piece preview, but as we know from watching players on Connected Versus, you can make one piece preview work quite effectively if you have a good intuition. Yeah, some players are just more comfy with lower piece preview, maybe less pressure, less to look at. I know Aken likes to do two-piece preview, which is quite unique. Less to decipher. But looking like we have a good matchup here. What was our best matchup tonight? We had two really good matchups. We had Jabberbox versus TiVo, and what was the other one? There's another one that was really close earlier. Let's see. Is it Shock versus Falkite? I think that was the one that was really close too. Or Got You Sauce and Cool Matt. Yes, that was super cursed. All right, so Nathan with the center wheel. It is always interesting. I mean, we have a lot of experienced players in our community here, right? But I think it's safe to say we like to watch how new players approach the game with kind of a fresh perspective. What's the quote? Trying to think of that Daft Punk song with Giovanni Giorgio. He says something like, if you don't have a conception of what to do, I'm going to misquote it. But, like, yeah, how do you approach... I'm always curious to see how players approach when they are, quote-unquote, newer to the game. And that's all a matter of perspective. Newer to multiplayer, let's just put it that way. It's like in terms of single player, both players here crush it compared to the average player, it looks like. Very quick stacking. Very clean stacking. Oh, I was close to Light Rod, yeah. Yeah, no preconception of what to do. I feel that when I'm watching Tetris players that are less experienced when it comes to like stacking patterns than somebody like Ferox or, you know, our pros. I like to see the casual competitive scene as well. There tends to be a flare of individuality that way when it comes to your play style, just because you're not confining or playing play styles that already exist, right? Shout out to Humanity, another enhanced game. You see that a lot with like creator-based games or user-generated content. All of our creators are so unique and individualistic. And Humanity, ooh, Dairy Fiend tops out. I need to catch what happened there. And Nathan does take it. Maybe misdrop gone wrong. We can let Nathan play this out for a second here. But Nathan, you are victorious. So we don't need to play it out too much longer. There we go. GG's. Yeah, thank you too for playing. I think Nathan is a familiar face. I don't know if this is your first one, Dairy Fiend. But yeah, happy to have you too. Be sure to stop by for if you need a rematch, if you need to redeem yourself, Dairy Fiend. Tune in next week. What is our mode next week? I think we're due for Zone Battle. Pretty sure Zone Battle's next week. I'll have to double check. Okay, so Pinball Dad and Nokino, you are up. Is one of you Jobtimate? I assume that's Pinball Dad. Okay, cool. Nokino, hailing from France. Bonjour, Nokino. Okay, let's do this. Good luck, have fun. That was an A+ getting into the lobby and starting. Love to see it. It's like no transition time. And we're off. Pinball Dad was saying it was easier to watch and hang out than to play, but we'll see if Pinball Dad can bring it for the play part. There are things you pick up on watching that are easier said than done to execute. That's how I feel about the ST stacking pattern when we're watching high-level score attack. It's like, oh, I can do this, and it's like, oh, I cannot maintain this to save my life. But it's a nice start. A little difference in play style. Looks like Nokino opting for a left side. Both players using the colorblind blocks. I love to see that players are they just want to they want to mix it up, have some fun with how the blocks look. It'd be cool if we did have more block skins, but it is what it is at this point. I guess customized go through a slew of block skins, so if you really want the most variety, that's the way to go. But if you like the classic colors and want to mix it up a little bit, even if you're not colorblind, head to the gameplay settings and keep scrolling right when it comes to the Tetramino skin. And yeah, you can pick some of those colorblind settings, which if you notice have like different shapes within the block to help differentiate them, kind of similar to the Game Boy version of Tetris. Very nice, Nathan. What's your rating at? Ranked score attack can be sometimes, it can be hard to really gauge your skill based on rating. I think simply due to it tends to have less players, especially up high, or higher ranked score attack is a little more barren. I think new players like to play score attack generally because it's very accessible, or you're not going to be getting attacks thrown on your board like you would in zone battle, right? You can kind of play at your own pace, which is nice. Oh, you were still at 3,500? Yeah, I think you're due to climb if you do hop in ranked. Alright, so close game here. Similar line count, only a 5 to 10k score difference. So that is negligible in the grand scheme of things. Tetris for Joptimate, aka Pinball Dad, from our Twitch chat. Getting a little hairy on the right side here, but with some burns can be back to business per usual. We'll see if Nokino can take advantage as they are still ready for business. Drop a Tetris. See if Nokino can minimize any long bar dependencies and try to get a little bit of a lead going here. Things are speeding up slightly. Less time to decide where to place your upcoming piece. That's where your intuition is going to have to start to kick in a little bit. And or careful looking at your piece preview to the right of your board. Piece preview is the key when it comes to super high level play. It both helps with your speed when you can kind of think through the next two pieces right away and know where to place them instantly. And helps with your strategizing, whether you're trying to maintain a certain stacking pattern or whatever it may be. I think both players are having issues with this post 10 play. Survival is crucial. It's going to be pivotal here. And that could allow, for example, Pinball Dad to get caught up if he's able to continue to survive. Easier said than done. Ooh, nice choice of placement there for despite the pressure, or in lieu of the pressure from Joptimate here. Ooh, and going to top out. Almost was able to skim out of that. And Nokino takes it. Good game. Yeah, pretty similar score average. It looks like, yeah, running into some issues with that high level there. Nicely played, you two. Happy we were able to get you in there. GG. So up next, we're going to be doing Ocean versus Scaly Dan, I believe, aka Mario Expert. And yeah, I see we're chatting in the Community Showcase channel. Don't stress too much. We're just playing for fun here in the end. How even the match is. Okay, so while they figure out what they're figuring out there, we're about to get our next game started. Anyone have any fun weekend plans coming up? I don't really have much of any plans this weekend, which is nice. We'll be playing some games. Maybe try to find some lunch spots in the city here. Alright, looks like Mario Expert is here in the lobby. Gun Vein, what is that? Sounds like a Doom kind of game. Or a boomer shooter. I love that name for the genre. Oh, it's a shoot 'em up. I haven't played a shoot 'em up in a while. There is a shoot 'em up I downloaded from friends of Enhance at oh, I don't want to butcher the name. Look it up. Yeah, it's a game called Rogue Flight. It's like kind of a shoot 'em up. It actually has more of like a Star Fox vibe from Truant Pixel, friend of Enhance. So I'll probably try that out on my Steam Deck. All right, looks like we're hopping in here. Good luck, have fun to our players. We have Mario Expert and not Ocean. So we were supposed to have Ocean playing, but we have somebody else, unfortunately. Somebody that's not Ocean with a butterfly avatar. And it looks like we might do a level 10 start. And we're off. So Ocean is a new to our community showcase. We'll see what they have in store here. Then we can gauge their skill level for the future. Ooh, a little misdrop on that L piece, but a nice skim to open up the Tetris well. Boom, Tetris for Ocean. And yeah, looks like Mario Expert, aka Scaly Dan on our Discord. It's gonna be going for some more T-spins. Does make a little bit of an error here though, so yeah, in Ocean's case, if you can just keep your Tetris well nice and open with less errors, maybe you can take the dub here. Consistent play is very important. and score attack. I think looks like Ocean likes to play fast. It's running into some errors due to that, but see if we can get some kind of speed advantage. There we go, T-spin from Ocean. And yeah, if you're capable to score T-spins, they are much more efficient than Tetris's. Kind of 2 lines versus 4. Which meaning, if you got a game with all Tetrises and a game with all T-spins, the game with all T-spins is going to be double, if not more, due to back-to-back bonuses. This match is lit, says Tivo. I can kind of tell what they're doing, but are they hyper tapping? That's a good question. I think in like when you're, they might be hyper tapping a little bit. It's hard to say. How do you all play in the chat? Do some of you use the auto speed, or I think most high-level players are going to be using or holding left and right to make use of what's called the delay auto shift, the DAS available, to get left and right faster. But do any of you just purely tap? Purely tapping can be okay for score attack. It's going to be tough for the later levels when the lock delay kicks in quicker. You want to kind of be skating on ice to avoid that lock delay. And in classic score attack, hyper tapping or just straight up tapping is totally okay. It might be a little more strenuous on the hands, but in theory, it is a more accurate and can be quicker than holding left and right to move your pieces. You hold? Yeah. I'm in a DAS club as well. Yeah, the fastest players in, especially in modes like Zone Battle, are going to be utilizing that DAS to quickly gear pieces where they need to be, using what's called two-step finesse. That is definitely a term worth Googling if you're trying to, if you're an experienced Tetris player that's looking up your game further, definitely look up two-step finesse to help simplify your stacking and have your stacking be more reliable to get it to where it should be, or your piece movement. Pretty good game here. Good showing from Ocean, who did clean it up and is now Tetris ready here, scoring some Tetrises. Mario expert getting a little crafty here with what's called the Imperial Cross. That double T-spin setup. Does have the T-spin well in the middle, which can be a little trickier, but is doing a good job of maintaining it. Not Ocean going to get some consistent Tetrises, which should be good considering Mario Expert does have the center well, which means there are going to be skims. But we are also going for these T-spins, which are more efficient. However, we're at pretty high up on the board, and yeah, we'll see how this plays out here. Level 15 colors, my beloved. I guess 16 on score attack. Got those pastel, almost like the Jazz Cup from the 90s colors. Alright, so Ocean fishing for a T-spin there. Yeah, it's a little tricky with that center well. I like the idea, though, especially to get caught up on pace here. T-spins will be the ticket to do so. Mario Expert did manage to clean up. There's a minor misdrop for Mario Expert. Going to have to take a skim at some point. I'm pretty sure Scaly Dan can play into some of these later levels. It's going to be tough to get caught up at this point for Ocean, but we'll see what happens here. See if Mario Expert runs into any stacking errors, which we are seeing when it comes to maintaining ST at least. And I believe our last game is on deck. Mr. FAQ and Grass Pelt, just be ready to play. So nice ST stacking from Mario here. And Ocean is clean here. We'll see how late into the game Ocean can get. I think Ocean might be out of reach when it comes to efficiency at this point, as we are nearing these later levels. But I would be curious to see Ocean's skill when it comes to how late into the game we can play. It's always fun to watch. So level 25, that lock delay is going to start to increase or decrease. So the piece will lock in sooner, making it harder to not make misdrops as these levels begin to increase. Ocean doing a good job on this post 25 play. Let's see if we can hit 29. Yeah, we got a really good game out of Scaly Dan here. Hitting that 1.5 mark. Level 27 from Ocean. Can we get to 28? Looking tough. And that will be it for Ocean, topping out at level 27. 7 lines away from 28 there. GG's. And I guess Mario Expert might want to play it out just to see what level they can get to. Oh, missing the Hespin there. Ooh. Yeah, lock delay really starting to kick in here. Or the lack thereof, a lock delay. $28. Oh, washing machine. All right. Barely getting 29 there with the 208 lines. Good game. GG. But yeah, thank you, Ocean. I believe this is your first showcase for coming out and taking on a formidable opponent, to say the least. We're just happy to get whoever we can in here, especially if you are new. All right, so last game of the night, we're going to do Mr. FAQ versus... all right, my goldfish brain is kicking in after 2 hours. Versus Grass Pelt. Final game. Ooh, Classic Bag, okay. Classic Bag is tricky, so you're... Imagine playing a score attack without the friendly piece generation. You're going to have to change up your stacking method. be a little more friendly to any piece at any time. So maybe stacking for Tetrises would be smart here. Excuse me. I think in theory a center well should be strong still, like 7-2. You can still freestyle a little bit with classic bag. But yeah, when you two are ready, I'm ready. Classic bag is enabled. Final game of the night. Been a little bit late, but turns out I enjoy Tetris Effect Connected. So happy to enjoy it here with you two, or with everybody here tonight. Buff +1. Oh, both players are going buff +1. Okay, interesting. Because why not? Yeah, I am getting a little hungry, TiVo. My brain power is moving towards the primal instinct to begin to eat. Okay. Okie dokie. So classic bag action. I really don't know what the best stacking method is with classic bag. In a score attack, that is. I personally would probably just start off keeping it simple with the Tetris well on the right, and then you can prop S and C pieces with kite-ins, and find clever donations given. You still, what's nice is it's classic bag, but you have a 4-piece preview. So even if you do run into a drought and don't receive a long bar T piece for a while, you can still stack smartly to accommodate the eventual long bar or T-spin. Having that foresight is quite crucial. Classic bag with 1-piece preview is a different story. Oh, classic scoring preset? Yeah. Yeah, it's a good mix of like modern meets classic Tetris. Nice T-spin triple there for Grass Pelt. Mr. FAQ kind of thinking this through. Mr. FAQ thinking it through. Has a nice 6-3 stack going. 6-3 can work with this high gravity. It isn't quite 20G, meaning you should be able to get some pieces to the left and right a little easier, but it's still going to be hard to fill out the right at times. However, with classic bag, it should be fairly forgiving and allow you to set up a T-spin a bit easier than it would be otherwise. Modern classic. And yeah, the full moon is tomorrow, in addition to the weekend ritual. This weekend is... Oh, what is this weekend? It is relax. So kick it back, play some chill marathon, some of the Whirlwind playlist. If you're looking to just chill out and vibe, it's the playlist for you. If you're looking to get sweaty, Connected Versus is open for a little bit tomorrow, for 24 hours tomorrow, not just a little bit. And or if you're playing, as a reminder, you can get special avatars during the full moon by just playing the typical zone battle, score attack, classic score attack. If you get wins during that 24-hour period, you can unlock special avatars as well. I think the rarest avatar in multiplayer is 100 wins of score attack during the full moon only. The spider avatar is our rarest multiplayer avatar. And then not tomorrow. We had a lot of people show up to our Discord voice hangout last weekend, which was a lot of fun. But we do have a bi-weekly voice hangout on the Discord. If you're into that kind of thing, just want to chill and team up, play PvE co-op, whether it's Maniac mod or just straight up connected. Or just team up and queue snipe each other in connected versus, try to play on the same team and ranked. Oftentimes we have a lot of people just playing each other in zone battle, which is fun. But we'll be doing that next Saturday. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Light Rod. Happy to have your help. Alright, so we are accruing levels now. Every 10 lines, each player will level up, which adds more bonus points to your Tetrises and T-spins, or just line clears in general. And Mr. FAQ with a bit of a lead, and behind on line, so Grasspelt's going to have to try to find some efficiency. Easier said than done with this classic bag action. Yeah, Mr. FAQ is a tough challenger when it comes to classic bag, as Mr. FAQ is also quite skilled at some of the old school Tetris games, TGM, stuff like that. So they have the wherewithal to put up with an unfriendly piece queue. You could always do breakfast for dinner. Breakfast for dinner is one of my favorites. I should do that more often. I don't do it that often, but it makes it more special when I do it less often, I guess. All right, so we got a T-spin triple tower out of Mr. FAQ, who having a little bit of a T-piece drought, so going to have to break that tower. It can be continued if Mr. FAQ manages to kind of like get a all clear. Just decides to break it entirely. Probably the wisest move. Not quite an all clear, but like a perfect skim on top of where that T-spin triple tower was. Grasspelt doing a good job keeping up here, though, with Mr. FAQ. Finding some Tetrises. And has a really healthy board to attempt to try to get some back-to-back bonus here. Breaks it to get a T-spin double there. Oh, interesting. Mr. FAQ with a T-spin triple. Look at that square burst. I like how they are all getting accommodated somehow. On Mr. FAQ's side. There we go. Yeah, using that. That was smart to use that L piece. I think that was the best piece to use there. Despite it not looking too natural. And what's the ticket here for Grasspelt? Mr. FAQ is just a very well-rounded player, so it's hard to say. Grasspelt can manage to get some T-spins here. Almost got like a fin there. because I know Mr. FAQ can play into the later levels. So, not going to be easy. Oh, man. Unfortunately, didn't get the T-spin double there. Does find a nice fix here. There we go. Gets a floating T-spin. All right, Pelt tops out at level 28. Was keeping up with Mr. FAQ for quite a while there. I think the score discrepancy started to grow a little bit in these later levels as Mr. FAQ is doing a good job of playing on this higher gravity. All right, got a level 30. Can we get a level 31 to close out the night? Nope. Level 30. I am content with the level 30. GG's. Nice classic bag play from both players. And we don't have to say it was buff +1. Just huge scores. Nicely played. GG's. Thank you, everybody, for playing in tonight's community showcase. I'll find somewhere to raid here on Twitch. Maybe we can keep the party going for a little bit. If there's anyone else playing Tetris Effect. See, we have Tago streaming, who was playing in our showcase earlier. Maybe we could say hi to Tago. All right. Okay. Sorry, I was just copying the Twitch username. But yes, thank you everyone that participated. Next week, let me double check what it is next week. I believe it is Zone Battle. Let's see, we did Connected Versus. Or I'm sorry, it's actually Classic. We're due for Classic Score Attack next week. So it is Classic. If you're looking to kick it old school, visit the retro mode and the brutal control system. And pure Tetris, no T-spins. Say no to T-spins. Although if Pelt is going to be here next week, we will say yes to T-spins, as you can turn on T-spins as a bonus still in Classic Score Attack, which is a lot of fun. But yeah, thank you all for playing. We had a lot of new faces today, so let's see if we can keep that trend going. And we're going to say hi to Tago if you're watching from Twitch. So be sure to hang out. Maybe you can snipe them in whatever game mode they're playing. And yeah, have some fun. Hang out, watch some high-level Tetris. Ocean, yeah, it was nice having you here. Thanks for participating today. Okay, so if you are on YouTube, bye YouTube. See you next time. Bye Twitter, or X, excuse me. See you next time. And all right, it is just Twitch now. Oh, it didn't even let me. It didn't let me turn off YouTube. That's funny. All right, say hi to Tago. I think it looks like they're playing Zone Battle. I hear myself. But everyone have a good weekend. Bye now.